My internet is really sketchy at this Now my phone won't stay up. Okay, am I back? Oh my goodness, my internet just completely went out. Are y'all all there?
Yes.
Okay.
Lucy, stop it.
We are gonna start seated. Let me pin my video and let's see, let me mute everyone. Hello, Facebook Live people. Let's see, let's get this all situated. Got it? Trying to do a Facebook Live today too. Oh. My phone keeps falling straight down. Okay, let's see. Is that gonna do it? Maybe. I need to get my Gorilla out for my phone. Oh, yeah, I'm a little technically challenged this morning, it seems, as usual. Okay, that might be it. Sorry, everybody. So, good morning. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I have with me today my strap, a couple of blocks, and a blanket. If you have all of those things, that would be awesome. If you don't have blocks, you could use like a stool or something, maybe even like a low table. So anyway, we're gonna start seated, and I've got a candle for us this morning to light the candle for those of us that are here, those of us that are not here, and a big heartfelt Happy Mother's Day to everyone, mothers everywhere. And also, you know, I was thinking about this last night, just that we all have a nurturing motherly quality in us, even our male counterparts, right? I know for sure my son has this amazing nurturing ability, and you know, there's mother in all of us. And so this practice is obviously for the mothers, but it's also for everybody else, because without mothers, they wouldn't be here. I also picked some geraniums out of my yard this morning. One of my mom's favorite flowers was geraniums, and they're busting out in my yard right now. They're so pretty. So I picked a few geraniums for us to enjoy today as well. And I'm gonna put those back by my mat. Okay, so let's start seated. If you don't have a strap, you can use like a sash or something from like a robe. You can even roll up a long towel and use that, okay? So let's take a couple moments here. I'm sitting crisscross. I'm actually sitting in half lotus right now with one leg on top. And I want to lift up through the spine here. Really let the crown of the head reach up. But be careful that you're not jutting your chin upward or outward. So kind of tuck the chin in slightly. You want to feel that you've got a levelness here. It almost feels like you're tucking the chin and the head is dipping down, I think, because we sit so forward all the time with our devices, looking at computers. It can feel off. See if you can feel a levelness then to your shoulders. Drop the shoulders from the ears a little bit and sense the space between right ear and right shoulder and left ear and left shoulder. Drop the hands down to your legs or your lap and have a low gaze a couple feet out in front of you, or close the eyes. Okay, so I'm going to close the eyes now. And we start in Sukhasana, which is an easy pose. It translates as easy pose. Let's try to make this easy by just breathing, just sitting. No agenda here. Just taking in the space. Virtually knowing that there are many of us practicing together right now. I think there's at least a dozen of you on my Zoom class this morning. So maybe visualize for a moment, even though you don't know who those people are. Imagine people in their own homes, sitting together, breathing, trying their best to be in the moment. Feel your breath moving in through your nose and out through your nose. Relax your face, relax your eyes, relax your jaw, and allow yourself to breathe easy here. Allow the ears to open up and reach out for sounds. Identify sounds that are far away from you and sounds that are close by. This practice helps me to make space for everything to coexist. I know that there's life happening around me. There's a lot of movement. As you're at home, you might hear kids or animals or whatever happening around in your house, in your neighborhood. Life is happening. Life goes on. But we can pull back just a little bit. We can retreat just a bit to take time for ourselves, to put back in, to rejuvenate, to restore, to reconnect, and to fill our well, to fill ourselves back up with compassion and love, gentleness and tenderness. All these ways of being with the people that we take care of, our kids, our families, our friends. The mothering quality, the nurturing quality to take care of others is so strong. Let's take this time and reflect on how we treat ourselves. Can we treat ourselves like we treat our children? Like we treat our best friends? Like we treat all of our loved ones? Imagine giving yourself a big hug right now. Just really squeeze in. Give yourself a big, big mental hug. And then bring a smile to the face. A gentle smile, looking inward. And let's return to the breath. So feel your belly expand and soften as you breathe in and out. Feel the heart and the chest rise and fall. And see if you can pull your breath awareness into your back body and into your sides. Let's work a little bit more with a few more rounds of breath here. See if you can take the breath to the very top, to a full breath, and pause at the top of the breath. And exhale long and steady, intentionally down to the bottom of the breath, and pause at the bottom. And continue breathing in smooth and steady to the very top of the breath. Feel yourself sip a little bit more breath in and then hold for a moment to feel the energy radiate in your body. And exhale, go down to the very bottom of the breath. See if you can push a little extra breath out. The navel will draw slightly toward the spine. Pausing here. And let's go again, breathing in. Take it to the top of the breath. Pause. And when you're ready, exhale down to the bottom of the breath. Push that little extra bit out. Feel the navel move toward the spine. Pausing. Good. If you like that breath, stay with it. Take a few more rounds. Otherwise, if you're ready to let go of that, come to a normal rhythm of breathing for you. We'll sit for a couple more moments. Focusing on the breath. The shape of the body, sitting without agenda, no judgment, making space, revealing space. imagining all of us sitting together in one space. What if we were all sitting in the yoga nut? I just said the yoga nut. What if we were all sitting in Loka Yoga right now? That would be beautiful. And in a way, we are. I think I subconsciously am channeling and honoring my yoga roots by mentioning Yoga Nut this morning. So shout out to Yoga Nut and Jenny and all the training. She's my yoga mama. All right, so let's bring the hands together at the heart center and bow the head to the heart. Just take a moment more here to honor yourself and this time that you've carved out for yourself. Open up the eyes. Let's sweep the arms out and up. So gather energy, reach up, stretch up, pull the palms down into the heart center here. Let's go again. Just reach out, grab energy, take in the day. It's a nice cool morning here in California. Breathe again, stretching up, bringing gratitude and love down into the heart space. Let's bow the head to the heart here. And again, just taking time to honor yourself in this space. We're going to come into a twist. So I want you to twist to your right. Reach your left hand across to the outside of the knee. Sit tall, lift through the crown of your head, and see if you can revolve around to look over your back shoulder. Maybe the eyes are open, especially if you're practicing outside. Open up your eyes, take a look at your surroundings, and then bring your gaze sort of back into yourself. Look down into the heart space. Feel the breath around the heart here. As we come out of the twist, let's stretch the arms up over the top of the head. Get all that length, maybe wiggle the ribs a little bit away from the hips. And we'll take our twist around in the other direction. So Parivrita Sukhasana, easy revolved pose. Sit tall, lift through the crown of the head. Try not to lift the chin too much. Keep it level, but revolve yourself around. Feel each of your vertebrae revolving around the axis of the spine. Take the head, look over that back shoulder. Breathe easy here. Notice if you're holding and clinging and gripping somewhere in the body or in your mind. Try to let some softness come. And then we'll lead around, take the arms up, and then flow the arms down by the sides of the body. So I'm going to lean back. I'm actually going to turn to the side so that you can see me. I'm scooch back toward the mat here. I'm going to put my hands behind me, and you can face your fingers toward your hips, side, or even behind. So feel what's right in your shoulders here. Feet are on the floor, knees are bent. I'm going to lift the chest. Lift the chin and open up across the chest here. I've got my knees bent, but you might feel like you want to straighten the legs out, so whatever works for you. But take a few breaths here that really help you to spread the collarbones, to lift the sternum, open up the space of the heart, open up the neck a little bit here, breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll roll off the fingertips and come forward. Maybe wrap the arms around your shins and squeeze in tight. If your legs are straight, that's fine. You can just sit with a little bit of rounding to the spine and maybe hugging in. Tuck in, tuck the chin. Now let your attention move into your back body, around the back of the heart. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Get intimate here with your breath. Good, let's go back into that reverse plank prep. I'm gonna straighten my legs out this time. Legs are powerful, knees and toes facing the ceiling, chest lifts, chin lifts. Press into your hands here as you can. I'm actually getting light in the hips here, thinking about lifting the hips up. Perhaps I can lift the hips and move into that full reverse plank. If that's difficult, maybe one knee stays bent and you lift and press one foot into the floor while you lift into that reverse plank. And then easing it down. Let's take the same option maybe, wrapping around the legs, open up the back body here, tuck the chin, breathe. Maybe rock the head a little from side to side. And then let's go one more time. We're going to pull the hands back behind, lift up through the chest, open up the collarbones, stretch the legs out if that feels good. If you pressed the hips up, do that again if you can, or bend that other knee and press the hips up. Open up the fronts of the hips here. So again, option is to have the legs straight, hips down, Purvottanasana, reverse plank, open up the heart. And then easing down, knees into the chest, or just a little bit of rounding coming forward. Open up the space at the back of the heart between the shoulder blades. And then sit nice and tall, stretch out the legs here, sweep out the arms, lift up. I'm going to turn back to face you here. I'm going to drop the right hand down to the floor, stretch over to the side. So a bend comes to the right elbow as we stretch and open up through the left side of the body. Take it down, turn your gaze down toward the floor here. Good, let's come up just a little bit. Can you straighten your right arm? Maybe come up onto the fingertips here. And as you stretch, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull the top arm back and open up into our twist. And then we're gonna dive into a tighter twist. See if you can dive your left arm under your right, tuck your chin. Inhale, open, twist. Open up the heart space. Exhale, round in, open up the back space. Good, inhale, open and twist. Exhale, round in. Good, come up tall, stretch up the arms, breathe, reach, lift the ribs away from the hips here. The legs are powerful, but there can be a bend in the knees too. Let's take it to the other side. Bring the left hand down, stretch the right arm over. I'm putting a bend in that left elbow as I stretch. I'm trying not to rock the opposite hip off the floor. I'm trying to keep it down a little bit so I can really open up that side seam in the body. Tucking the chin, looking down. Lift up just a little bit and straighten that left arm and let your right arm keep reaching. Good, now let's open up into the twist. Open up wide, and then exhale, dive it under, pull in the belly, round in. Inhale, open it out, open up the heart. Exhale, dive in, round. Good. Inhale, open up the front body, and open up the back body. Let's go one more time. Inhale and open. Exhale, round in, tuck in. And then come up tall, stretch up the arms. We're sitting in Dandasana here, staff pose. The legs are really powerful and reaching knees and toes toward the ceiling, toward the sky. And then the palms come together and down into the center. Bow the chin toward the chest, the chin toward, or the gaze toward the heart. Breathe, pause. Good. All right, so I'm scooching back a little bit more on my mat. Watch out for the candle. All right, as I scooch back, hold on, let me grab my strap. Oh, grab the strap. I'm gonna sit on my folded blanket here. I'm gonna take another seated sequence, and we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together in order to sit in butterfly. Now, butterfly is when your feet are really close in toward the hips. I like something that's a little bit further out, especially in the mornings, just giving the hips a little bit of time to open up here. Again, I'm sitting on a folded blanket, soles of the feet together, knees are open wide. So the higher you sit is good for this position. We want the knees to be pretty level with the hips. So if you're sitting and you've got your knees lifted up quite a bit, you need some more height underneath your hips to be more comfortable on your back. Okay. Once we get this, we're going to do a little bit of rocking from side to side. So we're gonna add in that same motion, but we're gonna let it flow a little bit here from side to side. Think of opening up the hips and opening up the side body. It's all connected. Okay, let's go into a tall position here, and then just wrap your arms around so that you can twist to your right and wrap around in the other direction. Think about opening the hips and getting the spine involved here. So everything starts to open in the back body, sides, front. Good, let's go one more. And then easing around to the front. Can you grab on somewhere along the shins or to the ankles? Put the elbows into the inner knees if that works for you. And push the legs more open. Push the feet down toward, push the knees down toward the floor. Lower your spine. Couple of breaths. Feel the work in the hips here. I want to take over the work of what my arms are doing and let the buttock muscles and the outer thighs start to work to hold the legs in that lowered position. So as I come up, I can feel the buttock muscles and the outer seams of the legs contracting, which moves my knees down into the floor. I'm going to put the hands behind me to give a little extra support to the spine. And then gently let go of that work and let the knees come inward. And then go again, press down, squeeze the outer seams of the legs. So the external rotators in the outer legs. And then we're gonna let that go and bring the knees upward. And go one more time. Press down, press your feet together, work your buttock muscles and your outer thighs. Good, and then just let it go. Straighten out the legs, reach up for Dandasana. And last of all here, we're gonna fold a little bit forward. Come over as much as you feel comfortable with. Some of you more flexible, you might be able to start reaching out towards your feet, even beyond that. You have a strap around too, so you could take the strap around the feet and then draw yourself down into the fold that way. The legs are really powerful as we do this. So my toes are kind of spreading. I'm breathing, lengthening, coming toward Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Good. All right, let's come back up from there. Let that go. Reach those arms up one more time. Palms to the center. Down into the heart, bowing the head to the heart. Give yourself a nice big breath in here. A big nurturing breath, and then exhale it out. Good. We're going to end up on our backs, so let's go there. Okay? I've got that blanket to go underneath my head. Don't need my blocks right now. I'm going to put those off to the side, and let's ease down on our backs. Ooh, yeah. So feet are on the floor, knees are bent, arms are out. Let's rock the knees a little from side to side. You can rock the head from side to side as well. I like a rocking motion. If I'm thinking about nurturing movement, rocking is definitely going to be in that mix. Rocking like you would rock a child. You can rock yourself to soothe and ease. All right, let's let the legs drop to the left. Stay in this position. So if you can reach your right arm back. So take this open windshield wiper twist here. Let the jaw relax, let the face relax. If you want a little tighter twist, take your right leg and scooch it around to sit right on top of the left, and then bring your knees up tighter underneath your left elbow. And maybe at that point you reach the right arm back out to the side. Let's take one more breath here. Big, deep breath in. And then exhale. Start to come back into center wherever you started. Drop your feet to the floor if they're up. Scoot your hips into center. And then let the windshield wipers start again here. Maybe rock the head a little from side to side. And then the legs are going to fall toward the right. Left arm stretches back. Take a few breaths. So we could stay like this, a very open twist for the body. We want something a little bit tighter. We can bring that left knee right on top of the right one and then scooch the legs underneath that right elbow, and then the left arm might go out to the side. So pausing here, breathing, Jatara, part of our Tanasana, this revolved belly pose. All right, now instead of coming on our backs again, we're just gonna roll all the way to the right side. Pause here for a little bit. Nurturing fetal position. Let's push ourselves up away from the floor. Feels really good, doesn't it? All right, and then come onto your hands and your knees. This might be a place where you adjust some of your props. Being gentle, you can take that blanket underneath your knee space for a little extra support. And then maybe have your blocks around too, so that you can bring the floor up for yourself. And so we'll go to our hands and knees here and move into a little bit of cat-cow. So as we inhale, we're gonna let the back move down, the belly moves down, and as we exhale, we'll round in like a cat. Let me go my glasses. All right, here we go, inhale. And exhale, let it flow. Inhale. And exhale. Remember to take care of your body. If you want to rest at any time, please do that. We're going to build this flow up just a little bit. So as we go back into cat, let's tuck the toes. Go ahead to downward facing dog. And then inhale, come back to the knees into cat tilt. And exhale, round and go back into downward facing dog. So come forward, go ahead, take it into cow pose or cat tilt. Exhale, round, press back through the legs and lift up into dog. So it's just kind of like a little circle, little cycle here, right? So we inhale, we exhale, round, tucking, lifting, and then shifting right back down onto the hands and the knees. Inhale, exhale, downward dog. Let's go one more time. Knees, exhale, round and back into downward facing dog. Continuing on, let's flow into plank pose and then back into downward facing dog. So coming forward, resist back with your legs, and as you go back, resist forward with your arms. Slow yourself down, use the length of your breath. Exhale, press the hips up and back, downward dog. Flowing forward. Now, if you need to take a break because the wrists get tender, do that. Drop to your knees instead. Take a little break. Otherwise, we're going to keep going and adding on to the difficulty of this. So when I come forward this time, I'm going to walk into plank. And as I exhale, I'm going to pull my right knee in toward my chest and then shoot back and let that leg lift. Three-legged dog. Exhale, pull in and round. And shoot back. Now remember, you can do this on one knee, and it'll be a little bit easier. You'll be closer to the ground. You can skip some stuff too. You don't have to do all this. Exhale, bring it in tight. Inhale, send it back. Let's do two more. Exhale in. Inhale back. Last one. Exhale in. Inhale back. Drop that foot down. All right, so let's lower the knees. Knees are a little wide, toes touch, big toes touch, and we'll settle back into child's pose here. Maybe wrap the arms down. Squeeze and release your fists a little bit. Good. Now you might stay down for these last couple of breaths. What I'm going to do this morning is offer you sitting up and back on your heels. We're going to take about 5 breaths here. If you need to, grab a block and put it between your ankles so when you sit back, you got a little less pressure in your knees. Spine is tall. We're going to close the eyes. So you might be in child's pose. You might be in hero's pose, Virasana. Chin is level. Shoulders relax. Blood flow back into the arms here, down into the fingers. Pausing, slowing things down. Take one more breath. Good. So tuck the chin, pull in the belly here. If you're in child's pose, you're just going to raise back up into downward facing dog. If you're in that seated position, take that block out. Take yourself back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then let's flow here. We're going to bring the feet together. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, take it back. Option to bring the left knee with you into the forward position and then shoot the leg back and up for three-legged dog. So exhale it in and inhale it back. Exhale, use your breath, slow yourself down, be mindful of your movement. Try not to go too fast. Feel the muscles working. Let your brain get in there and investigate and observe how you're moving. Let's go one more. Exhale it in. Inhale it back. Good. Lower that down. Child's pose. Knees are wide, big toes touch, drop down. Or if you like to sit back into Vajrasana or Virasana. So Vajrasana is when you're sitting on your heels. Virasana is when you take that block and you sit your hips in between your feet. Breathing. Focus on your out breath. Maybe the arms drop down by your sides. Squeeze and release the fists a little bit. One more breath. Sweep the arms out and up or reach them out in front of you if you're in child's pose. And then let's all work our way back into downward facing dog. So we'll go back through the hips, lifting up, breathing in. Good. You're going to step your back leg, whichever leg is on the back side, like away from me. You're going to lift that one, step through, maybe grab a block or two, and turn into your wide forward fold. So perhaps you're facing me at this point. It's really hard for me to see what's happening out there in Zoom land because I'm on my laptop. So we just take this wide forward fold here. Lengthen the spine out. Feel like you did when you were seated and you were lengthening from the tailbone to the top of the head. And so a few breaths. There's some kiddos at my window. Oh, they're so cute. I'm getting distracted. All right, let's take a twist, okay? You're gonna leave your left hand down and your right arm is gonna go up into twist here. Let's bring that top arm down and then just switch. Go into your twist the other way. All right, so exhale it down. Inhale, sweep it open into twist. Exhale it down. Sweep it open. Good, let's go one more. Gonna give you a little variation here. As we sweep up, gonna take that top arm, turn the palm toward me, and reach over the top of the head. Go long through your right side of your body. And then lift that arm back up and sweep it down. Let's do the other side. We're gonna go into the twist first. You're gonna turn your top palm toward me and stretch like we're gonna touch hands. Reach through the left side of the body. And then releasing that down. Good. Let's turn the knees and toes outward just a little bit. Bring the hands up onto the thighs here. Lift yourself all the way up. Arms go out to the sides, palms down, biceps rotating down. Drop into goddess pose here. Goddess legs. We want to line up the knees and the toes with each other as we do this. And we're going to bring the arms, cross one on top. It doesn't matter which. One arm is on top. We're wrapping around into giving ourselves a nice big hug, dropping down into the legs here. Drop down low, feel your weight in your heels, opening up the hips. And then lift up through the legs. Let's open up the arms, drop back down into your squat. Switch so the other arm is on top, wrap around, give a big hug. And then just ease down into these open hips. We want to press the knees open here. Think of using your buttock muscles and your outer thighs to line the knees up with the toes. Weights in the heels. Let's inhale, open. Go one more time on each cross of the arms. Drop in, knees aligning with the toes as we drop down into the squat. Keep breathing. Good, let's open up, straighten the legs, cross your arms the other way, give yourself a big hug, and ease down into the goddess legs. Work your buttock muscles, your outer thighs here. Inner thighs are working too for stabilization. All right, let's open it up. Good. Turn your feet back parallel with each other. Maybe grab a block. You can put a block at either end of your mat if you've got two, or you're going to switch it from end to end, okay? So come up, the legs are wide. You're going to open up the arms wide again, palms are down. Turn your feet and your femurs toward the right and reach out, nice and long. You're going to tip down, find that block or the hand on the shin, and the other arm is going up over the top of the head for triangle. Root into your heels. Lengthen your spine. Take your top arm, turn the palm over the top of the head, reach, 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 reach. There's that side length again. Good. Okay, so picking up what we did in the very beginning, let's bring the arm down. Think of diving the left arm under the right and then sweep it open into triangle pose. Dive it under, round in a little bit. Inhale, open from your center. This will challenge your balance a little bit here. So we look down, we dive under, and then open it up. Good, go one more. Dive it under, open to the top, breathing in and out. Good. All right, now stay here. Find your way back to rest in child's pose, or try coming into balance. We're gonna bend that right knee, move the block forward and out from your pinky toe, and then step forward a little bit with your back foot. So your weight moves down into your right foot. And then try lifting the back leg. Very powerful in that lifted leg. Opening up the hips, revolving through the waist, taking the top arm up, and maybe the gaze turns in my direction. Breathing in half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Good. Big pose here. Pretty simple, but very challenging in our balance. We're gonna bring that arm back down, slowly find the floor with the back heel. Bring yourself up through warrior two, reverse, and then go through a vinyasa here. Let's come down, step back, find your plank, shift forward, lower down, rise up into cobra, long here, open in the chest. Releasing, push to knees or full plank, either one, back to child's pose, or some of you may be returning to downward facing dog. Okay, wherever you are, we're taking about 5 breaths here. Root down into the ground, down into Mother Earth. Let her support you. Lengthen and soften the body a bit. Soften the brain. Good. Now we're going to move back into our wide forward fold. Okay? So my back leg, my right leg is stepping forward, and I'm going to spin back into my wide position here. I'm grabbing my strap while it's down here, while I'm down here, bending the knees, and then coming up into standing position, okay? So what I want to do here is take the strap. You might need it, you might not. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to slide down the strap a little bit, reach around behind me, and grab onto the other end. So the strap's really good for me because I have a shoulder thing that I have to work with. And you might be able to interlace your fingers back there. But again, this is nurturing. I don't want you doing too much. You're gonna roll open the chest like we've done several times before. The legs are really powerful here. Lift the chest a little more, lift the chin, and start to fold forward right at the hip creases. Lift the arms more and more. As you fold down, let your arms move away from your back. Keep going, keep reaching out through your knuckles. Legs are really strong here. All right, now I'm going to try to do a little bit of rotation. I'm going to go toward that left leg and then toward the right. I'm aiming the center of my chest toward the center of my thigh. Moving a little from side to side. Powerful legs, opening the chest. Then come back into the center. Breathing. Good. All right, easing my way up, easing all the way back up. Ooh, nice, huh? All right, let's feet and the femurs toward the left. Reach out the arms, reach out long, and tip it down to triangle pose. My block is there. If you need a block, grab it. You can have your hand on your shin instead, and your top arm goes up over the top of the head. Breathing, feeling grounded here. Legs stay solid. We're going to turn that top palm over the top of the head and reach long through the right side of the body here. Breathing in and out. Belly is firm. You're going to start to drop that arm down a little bit and then dive it under and into the window. So we're going to twist and then open the twist. Right? So we do that tight corkscrew type twist and then opening out. Now this really challenges the balance. And I can feel a lot more need for focus on this side compared to the other. I'm not quite as stable on this side as I was on the other side. So noticing that, I'm slowing down and making sure that I'm taking care of myself. I don't want to fall over. Especially in front of all of you. All right, so let's pause in triangle. Remember, you can work your way down to rest on the floor. Child's pose, just sitting. Otherwise, we're going to move into half moon. So the top arm comes on the side, bend the bottom knee, step forward a little bit. Let me move this blanket. Step forward a bit with your back foot so your weight ends up over your left foot. And then move that block forward and out from the pinky toe a little bit. Can you lift up? Lifting the back leg. Open the ribs, open the chest. So we have a lot of external rotation happening in the standing leg. You're working the buttocks, you're working the outer thigh, and maybe the top arm goes up over the top of the head. Breathing. Working on your balance. This is pretty challenging. It's simple, but it's hard to find the balance and to keep it, right? Okay, so when we're ready, we're going to come back down, see if we can find our way with that right heel to the floor. Pull back and up into warrior two. Make sure that front knee is above the ankle. Reverse the warrior. And then we'll go down and move through a vinyasa here. If you're still moving, maybe you're resting. So we go to plank, shift forward and down, roll to cobra. Maybe you're wanting an up dog here. Take care of yourself. Breathe. Exhale, release it. Push to knee plank or full plank. Back into downward facing dog. Always resting when you need it. Feel that flow of your breath. Press the chest toward the thighs. Press the thighs toward the wall behind you. Good. All right, let's lower down onto the knees. I'm going to turn and face you so that you can see this. I'm going to put my blanket back underneath my knees and come into a one-legged child's pose. So So it helps to open up the inner thighs. Okay, so from all fours, I'm going to stretch my right leg out to the side and then move the hips back like a one-legged child's pose. So as I go back, it helps to lengthen through the inner thigh on my right leg. I'm going to flex my foot here too, just to get a little bit more stability, maybe a little bit more work, easing into Balasana. You can certainly sit instead and have your leg out to the side. So it might be that you don't need to be in that knee. You can sit and have the leg folded in instead. Okay? That way maybe you're going to lean out over that right leg. Ease myself back up into my child's pose, Ekapada Balasana. Let's come back up, ease that right knee underneath the body, and we'll just switch sides, okay? If you're seated, you just switch and put the left leg out to the side. Once we stretch that left leg out, then we can push the hips back pretty evenly. The same thing for me. I'm much more open and stable on the other side. This is my less stable side and more challenged. I can feel the difference between sides. No judgment, it's just information about the way the body is. Remember your option of just sitting instead. What if you just sit and you have that right leg folded in and the left leg long, okay? And then you can lean out toward the side. I move back into my one-legged child's pose. Drawing yourselves back up. I'm going to turn to the side here, coming onto all fours, and then tucking the toes and going back into downward facing dog. So it doesn't matter which leg you lift here. You're going to lift one leg, you're going to bend the knee, and open up the hip. So we've done a lot of external rotation today. So we're adding on to it here. Opening up. Let's bring that leg down and switch. So lift the leg, bend the knee, open up the hip, feel that external rotation in your bottom leg. Breathe and press back like downward facing dog. One more breath. And then ease it back down. Good, let's go through our vinyasa here or rest. We come forward to plank, lower down, roll to cobra. And release. Push it up and back. Downward facing dog. Let your breath flow. Option to be down and resting, working in child's pose rather than downward facing dog. Checking my time. Let your breath flow. Good. Once you feel your breath kind of settle a little bit and come back to a regular rhythm for you, I want you to start to come down and find your way into a seated position, okay? I have my blanket, no rush here. I've got my blanket, and I'm going to use my strap also. So we've done a lot of external rotation. Remember how we did like butterfly pose, we did the goddess pose, we've done a lot like that. So we're working kind of with that concept today. What I want to do here is let one leg stay folded in, okay? Then we're going to take our strap and hook it around the ball of the foot. I'm working with the left leg straight and the right leg bent. And I'm going to reach my left leg forward here. I'm holding on to both ends of the strap. I want to lift and lengthen up through the spine. Press the right knee down toward the floor here. And I'm going to work into the abdominals a little bit. Rock back slightly and start to work the leg up toward the ceiling. So see how my arms start to bend as I do this? I really want to keep my arms straight. So I'm going to work my hands down on the strap. And some of you may be able to drop the strap and actually hold on to the foot instead, right? So I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see what's happening this way. I've got my right leg turned out, my left leg is straight. I'm leaning back a little bit, maybe hooking the strap over the foot or just grabbing the foot and drawing that to me a little bit. I'm going to press down with that right knee, lengthen the spine. It might be that you are holding the strap and you've got your hand behind your leg, whatever it is, right? I'm going to turn back to face you. Take another breath with it. Here's the option with the strap. So this is like heron pose. Good. Now use your abdominals. Start to let that top leg come down. And then straighten your other leg out. Sit in Dandasana for a couple of breaths. Stretch those arms up toward the sky. Palms together, down into the center here. Squeeze your legs toward each other. Press your big toe edges toward each other as you do this. The legs are powerful. Breathing in and out. Good. Let's do the other side, okay? So you're going to bend your left knee and your right leg stays straight. You reach for the strap, put it over the ball of the foot. You're pressing that left knee down. The spine is tall and lifted. We're going to rock back a little bit and start to lift the leg up, okay? So we can start to walk down the strap toward the foot. You might find, hey, I'm pretty flexible. I can reach my foot. This is awesome. And you might not need the strap. Or you're holding somewhere else on the leg, okay? I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see this way. Sitting up on my blanket, pressing down through that left side, lengthening out through the right, leaning back just a little bit, breathing, opening up the chest. Good, let's go one more breath. And then nice and easy, gonna come forward, let that leg come down. Good. And then head down on our backs. Alrighty. So as we come down on our backs here, I'm going to grab my blocks again and take them with me. Now, if you don't have blocks, you might could use your folded blanket instead. What I'm going to do is lift up and put these blocks underneath my sacrum. So once I lift up, or as I'm lifting, I want to keep the gaze to the ceiling. I'm going to lift the hips a little bit, take those blocks underneath. A little bit of lift under the hips here. Slight inversion, head below the heart. We'll take a few breaths to just sort of acclimate into this inversion. If you like, bring the knees in, let the legs go up toward the ceiling, press the edges of the big toes together. There's a little sliver of space between your heels. For some of you, your feet might not touch. Your legs might be apart. That's fine. They're just straight up as much as you can get them. Arms go wide here. Shoulders relax. Chest is open. Heart is lifted. Belly is soft. Breathing full, deep breaths. Maybe the eyes close. Let's stretch out through the hip flexors a little bit. Bring your right knee in toward your chest and let your left leg start to reach long down the mat here. So you open up through the front of that left hip. Breathing in and out. If the blocks feel not right for you, take those out and just pull the right knee into your chest. Let your left leg go long. Let's switch the legs, but we're going to come back through the legs up before we do that. So let your right leg straighten, draw in your left, bring it up toward the ceiling, and then we're switching. The left knee comes in, and the right leg goes long down the mat. So open up through the psoas, the hip flexor in the front of the hip, maybe a little lengthening quality to the thigh here for you if you're really tight. And again, you may need to take the blocks out from under. If this is not comfortable, then switch it. Take these out, just have the left knee into your chest. Breathe easy. Focus on your out breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Let your attention be in that exhalation. Linger through it. Then we'll come back into our legs up. Left leg goes up, right leg goes up. Open up the feet a little bit and circle at your ankles. Let your feet circle around. Go in the other direction. Good. And then just keeping the feet still. Focus on the legs moving up and into this inversion here. When you're ready, knees bend. Drop one foot down to the floor at a time. Your gaze is still up to the ceiling or to the sky. Scoop up the hips. Take those blocks out from underneath. Roll it down. Good. And see how you feel here. I'm gonna reach around, grab my blanket underneath my head because that's what I like. So, yeah. Let's do some resting, okay? Be comfortable. Take any of your props that you want to use to make you more comfortable. I'm going to suggest that you stretch your legs out toward the corners of the mat and your arms are a little bit wide here. Your gaze is upward, but the eyes are closed. Let your breath flow in and out. Drop the bones. Settle the tissues. Drop the bones. Soften the tissues. Feel your breath flowing here. Breath is flowing. Let go in your face. Find any space in the face, in the neck, in the limbs. And I say find space, but really what I think is that we're revealing space in the body and in the mind. That space is already there. It's just that we get so wrapped up, we grip, right? We have a lot of tension and we grip. And we close ourselves down. The mother energy, the nurturing energy of the mother is to embrace, though. It's not to close off and to hold back and be alone. The nurturing energy of the mother is everyone, to embrace all beings. Let your mind open up a bit. And imagine all the people that are practicing together right now. Maybe holding in your heart space a little place for each of the yogis that are here together. And expanding our imagination out into our community. Imagine everybody celebrating today, celebrating their mothers, celebrating their sisters, celebrating their children. Celebrating each other. It's Mother's Day every day, but we just take a little extra time today to really, just make it special. I'm glad that I could be here today to practice yoga with all of you and hopefully get your day started with some nurturing for yourself. I want you to take about 3 more breaths. Really focus in on the flow, your natural flow of breath. Start to move your fingers and your toes a little bit. Maybe rolling at your wrists and your ankles. Begin to move and stretch in any way that feels good to you. Until you're ready to roll yourself to the side. Take your time and push yourself up away from the floor. Come back to your seated position. No rush here. And if resting is what you want to do, you want to stay in Shavasana, y'all know I'm good with that. Take that time if you've got it, and you can keep resting. So we come back up and we end our class full circle today. We started seated, and now we end seated. So sitting up nice and tall, let's close the eyes. Allow your focus to stay inside on yourself for a few more moments here. Feel the spaciousness you've been able to reveal in the mind and in the body, in the heart. And leaving you with a quote that one of our teachers, Lisa, says quite often, and I hope I get this right. It's one of my favorites. Write your sorrows and your worries in the sand, and carve your blessings in stone. The hands coming together at the heart center. Let's bow the head to the heart. Just take another moment here to honor yourself, to honor your practice, honor the nurturing quality of the mother in each of us. The light within me sees and honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Goodbye to Facebook land.